Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel, Exploring God's Creations.
Where we're living for today, because we're not promised tomorrow.
Here we are, Mammoth Spring in Arkansas. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel, Exploring God's Creations.
Where we're living for today, because we're not promised tomorrow.
Here we are, Mammoth Spring in Arkansas. Yeah, it's definitely probably the largest spring in Arkansas, but
Oh yeah.
it's also one of the largest in the United States.
It's just past the Arkansas border.
Aren't we cute? Anyway, thanks for coming.
And it starts over there and comes down here.
Yep.
And goes all over there. And then the guy at the hatchery place was telling us that goes underwater or underground.
Underground caverns.
Yeah.
But it's not safe to drink.
Which is odd.
It picks up harmful stuff, harmful materials and other things down underneath the ground, and even though it looks good, if you read the sign information, it says looks are deceiving and that it's not recommended to drink. And there's them lines again. Jeez. It's heck getting old.
Yeah, whoever calls them golden years.
Aren't we cute? Golden years.
My eye keeps twitching.
Bye. Her eye keeps twitching.
It's driving me nuts.
She's got nerves. Bye. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
at the koi. Rocky, there's huge kois in here. They're huge. I've never seen any that big. Yeah.
Man, it's a shame you can't get underwater pictures. Man, look at that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
How huge they are.
I've never seen any that big. Hey.
How are you?
Good. I've never seen koi that big.
There's a sturgeon out there that makes the koi look like goldfish. The sturgeon out there.
In the same place?
Oh yes. Sturgeon don't eat fish though. But you won't see him because the water's so murky. I caught him the other day.
He said there's a sturgeon in there that makes those look like goldfish. In that
here.
thing?
He was up right on the edge of the water the other afternoon, and he was eating the algae. Was he? And I wasn't quick enough, but I did get a picture to prove that I'm not
Crazy.
crazy.
Whatever, them some big fish to be, them are big enough right there.
Oh my gosh. Look at this.
Holy mackerel.
But these
And he
sturgeon,
was right here?
he was right along that wall.
Yeah, he's in there.
Holy mackerel.
The sturgeon will get the water starting to get a little clearer.
Was there an access to another body of water right here?
No,
Or he's
there-
in here right somewhere?
He's in here on the back side.
Oh,
I think they
really?
can get in between.
Oh, yeah, look on the side.
But they'll live 100 years.
Oh yeah.
A sturgeon will? A
150 pounds.
sturgeon?
And like most fish don't like to be like take a scoop of that fish and we swing it across there and they just go
Gotta
wild.
keep them occupied for a while.
Just
Yeah,
crazy.
you don't normally see trout back there.
No, these, I mean, they're 8 to 10 years old. They're really, they were the lottery winners because that hatchery doesn't actually have brood stock and hatch fish anymore. So what happens when they would take the fish out of the raceways to deliver, if there was a few extra left over, they'd get thrown in a pond to get a little bigger and then ultimately end up in that viewing pond. But you had to be careful if you threw anything there under about 12 inches because the other trout would eat them.
It's food.
You know, just like the raceways, they covered them with netting because when the trout come in as fingerlings is 3 inches long,
They'll get down to earth.
the wood ducks land in there. It was like a smorgasbord, all you could eat buffet.
You ain't gonna have very many left.
But the trout got their revenge because there were some wood ducks that nested next to that viewing pond, and all the women the next day after the ducklings had hatched would be swimming across the pond. I mean, these little fluffy ducks about this. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, you better look at him today because he probably won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's wild. Thanks.
Get a good picture just because I probably would have found. Oh yeah, I'll get another cake. So all of the fish and otherwise in here are native to Arkansas.
Oh yeah?
So everything you see in here actually is in
Oh,
Arkansas.
wow.
The alligator that's in that tank is more southern Arkansas. They don't come this far north. But you have 2 different varieties of the 3 varieties of garfish.
What's that?
So that's a long-nosed gar. That one's a spotted gar.
Oh my
Now they
gosh.
actually raise the alligator gar here also. The alligator gar are the ones that get several feet long and weigh up to 300
Oh my
pounds.
gosh.
Then you have some black crappie, also called black crappie, depending on how people pronounce
Yeah,
it.
those taste good.
Oh, they're good in a pan. Striped bass, which are good in a pan too. You just got to get the red meat out. And they're anadromous, so you can find striped bass in freshwater and saltwater. And if they're in saltwater, they actually come into freshwater to spawn. This albino-looking thing is kind of a sickly-looking smallmouth bass. I don't know why he's lost all his color. I don't know who ate his dorsal fin, but his dorsal fin is gone.
Man, I had fish tanks growing up, and nothing like this.
And there's a flathead catfish stuffed in this hollow log that's, oh, I suppose he's about as long as the log. His mouth is probably about this big. These guys get fed once a week. We fed them Wednesday morning.
What are them, crappie?
Yeah.
Yeah, black crappie.
Holy.
There's a white crappie also, but evidently not native to Arkansas because everything in here is native to the state. This flathead catfish, we dumped some trout in there. The big ones were about 8 inches. He come out twice within 10 minutes, and then there was one left over in the bottom that was gone the next morning.
Yeah, I bet.
But like the striped bass, I mean, we put some 3-inch trout in there
Well,
and some 8-inch.
I'm sure that stuff doesn't last very long.
No, they're pretty
How
aggressive.
neat is that, though? He's cool.
Yeah. There's one
Yeah,
there.
them are neat.
And I've actually got a picture of a gar that I had caught.
So I imagine these fish have been in here for a long time.
I can't answer. I don't know.
Really?
When I was really little, I caught a gar.
That's a gar.
Oh
that I
my
had caught.
goodness.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's my fishing buddy standing there holding
Where
him.
you at there?
Lake Murray in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. How neat.
That was a bass I caught down in the swamp. That was
Oh, wow.
a place. It's Lake Murray and Lake
a
Moultrie. You call it
smallmouth?
Stump Hole. No, it's largemouth.
Oh, that's largemouth? Okay.
But a week later, we seen on the news that they had taken an 800-pound alligator out of this same
No
area.
way.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that water.
Oh no, that's not a swimming pond.
No.
Oh, rock, look.
Oh, there we go. Oh, how neat.
It's a baby.
Now, what do they get fed?
He got an 8-inch trout too.
He gets-
So it's funny, we set up the ladder to climb up to dump the fish in there,
Uh-huh.
and you'd almost think that he's fake because he's just laying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
He-
don't.
he was out yesterday on this rock. There's a heat lamp right above, but when I was climbing that ladder and Rick was going to hand me the pail, this guy is between this log and the glass, and he's just
That's too funny.
head way up,
Going
he's
to
doing a
town.
happy dance, saying, "Hey! What about me? What
Yeah,
about the
I'm
alligator?
over here.
Yeah, don't forget about me."
I saw a YouTube thing the other day about a lady who worked at a reptile place, and she gets in and feeds them and stuff, and she always talk about how nice they are and everything, and it ended up getting a hold of her hand, and then he was rolling around her,
They do
Spin
that.
hand
They do
right
that
off.
death roll.
and all of a sudden you see all the guys who work there jump in there and start yanking on him. I'm like, there's no way I'd
You
do
can't
that.
get their mouth open.
Oh yeah, you're in trouble.
Hold the record for having the strongest laboratory measured bite.
Oh yeah, you're in trouble. They
But
get a
I
hold
was
of you.
thinking that the saltwater crocs is 15 or
Oh
2,500
yeah, they're
pounds.
even bigger, man. Now you got to go to Australia for them, don't you?
I think other countries at least.
I know they get giants. I know they get huge.
Well, we spent this time at this hatchery in western South Dakota, in Rapid City, South Dakota. They have, I think it's the largest private collection of reptiles. It's a place called Reptile Gardens.
Okay. In South Dakota.
They got piles and
think that'd be
piles of
Florida or
alligators.
It's a huge thing for them little guys.
They have just about anything you can
Snakes
imagine.
and the whole 9 yards?
They even got black mamba.
No.
I mean, you're not gonna
No,
touch that or anything. But
I don't even know how they get close enough to feed that thing. Throw it in and run. Does anybody name any of them?
That's Eugene.
That's you.
Or possibly Gina.
You don't know if it's a male or female?
They don't know, so. But of course, all the water in this building comes from Mammoth Spring over here.
Oh, really?
And if you're not familiar with that water, the headwater of that starts up in the Ozark Mountains.
Does it?
Flows through underwater or underground caverns and
No
stuff
kidding.
to get here. And as it comes through all of the limestone and underwater caverns, it becomes very oxygen deprived, very heavy with nitrogen.
I'm sure.
So the only fish that can truly survive in Mammoth Spring, there's a couple of sculpin in that tank to the
Oh,
far
wow,
left.
I didn't know that.
And then straight ahead from where we're standing, there's some grass pickerel. Those are the only two
In here?
varieties of fish, yes, that can live in that low oxygen water.
Oh, okay.
So as the water comes to the hatchery, over at the raceways where the water first comes onto the property, it looks like a series of 5-gallon pails they have stacked up with holes in. And they run the water through that, and it tumbles and bubbles, helps to off-gas the nitrogen and pick up some
Oh, okay.
oxygen.
Well, that's neat.
So the grass pickering, if you're familiar with northern pike,
Yeah. Well, I've heard of them.
they're a relative of the northern, because I looked at them and said, grass pickering, they look like pike to me that size.
Now, how big will these get?
I don't
In the
honestly
wild?
know.
You don't know? Because I know pike get pretty big.
Pike get pretty big, and then their bigger brother is the muskrat.
Muskies, right.
So all three are in the same
family.
And then these are the
sturgeon.
smaller sturgeon. Now they raise sturgeon here. Most of the sturgeon go back to Tennessee as part of a habitat stocking project. But it's funny now. He's sitting there doing that. He's probably got a rock in his mouth. Because they get fed bloodworms, and it gets fed way down low, so then it settles into the gravel. So then they'll pick up a rock
and then
you'll
what,
see
spit
them
the rock
spit it
out?
Yep.
Yeah, he used to have a crab in a
it's fresh,
tank.
yeah, freshwater lobster, whatever they are,
Okay.
shrimp or whatever.
And that's what he would do.
I'd feed it goldfish, and he'd clamp onto it and eat it.
He'd just sit there and hold it like a turkey leg.
Or French
It was so
fry or
gross.
something.
Well, these guys look almost like they're in suspended
Yeah,
animation.
they do, don't
Just-
they?
they're just hanging
They're
out.
just hanging like they're in a...
And when we threw those 3-inch trout in there Wednesday morning, I mean, it was like
dinner time.
they didn't mess around. I mean, they were moving.
There was no suspended animation
No,
anymore.
they were all about food.
Too cool.
And as you go down the hallway, there's some additional. There's a shadow bass, a snapping turtle.
Oh, this is so cute.
Yeah, this is cool.
And this snapping turtle, we dropped he's tucked around the corner in that hollow log, I'm willing to bet. Because he's either
he's in there.
There he is.
Yeah, he's either in the log or he's sitting and with the reflection of the surface of the water, looks like he's kissing another turtle.
Right.
That's the two positions I found him in, other than when we dropped that 8-inch
He
trout
may
in there the other
think
day.
it's another turtle for real.
And he swallowed that trout tail first.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I'm talking start to finish, less than 2 minutes.
Gone.
He got the trout in his mouth up to the gill plates. Now the gill plates are keeping him from being able to get it the rest of the way
The rest
in.
of the way in,
He
right?
reaches up in his front claws, you ripped them off.
And then sucked it down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
but must have an unbelievable gag reflex because, I mean, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I've seen other fish kind of do that, but not turtles. Oh my goodness.
So he just barely got the tail.
Oh.
So he held it there until he was able to suck it down.
Got it all the way up to the gill plates.
Oh my
And then
And ripped the
goodness.
gill plates off and,
then sucked
swallowed
it
it.
down. Wow.
Here he is. Here
There
he is.
Oh, that's an alligator snapping turtle, right?
No, that's just a snapping
Oh,
turtle.
that's just a regular?
We had one in our driveway one time that was an alligator snapping turtle. He was like,
Yeah, he ended,
Down in
the-
up on their driveway.
Down in the hatching building, there's a couple down there that are
Oh my goodness.
ginormous. Heads are about.
Oh, yeah,
like
they get
this.
even bigger than that, I think.
oh yeah, my kid held him up, and his mouth was like the.
Years ago, there was an aquarium at the Bass Pro Shop in
sees it.
Springfield that they
Yeah.
had I want to say it was a 550-pound alligator snapping turtle. he had a head on him about like this.
Oh my goodness.
Now that was 2006, and then I hadn't been back to that Bass Pro Shop until October of last year, and the tank was gone. I didn't see him anymore, so he must have passed on. And I didn't ask anybody. I should have asked somebody, but I
He
didn't.
sees this for sure.
So the little fish in there are just for food?
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Oh wow.
He can open that mouth big, can't he?
It's just unbelievable that he can get his mouth open like that, and the fact that he's.
Are you yawning?
Right. Kind of like a snake.
Huge. And here's something
hi.
interesting. An alligator snapping turtle can hold his breath for 6 months.
Really?
I shouldn't say hold his breath, but they can go 6 months without surfacing.
So how do
No, they don't have gills, but there's a
they
couple of
breathe?
membranes behind his ears and the side of his head that they can absorb oxygen from the water, and there's also some tissue towards the back of their body. They call it butt breathing, that they can absorb oxygen through, but they also have the ability to turn
He's on the move.
glucose in their bloodstream to oxygen. They can run on the glucose. They call it anaerobic. They can run on that for 100 days.
It's amazing how people think that it just got that way on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, that's come on, man. I mean,
Well,
that's incredible.
Well, what do you choose to believe, that there was that we come from monkeys, or that there was a creator?
Nothing gave that the ability to do what it's doing.
Oh wow.
I mean, for it to be holding its breath like that and no gills, that's just amazing.
You know, even Charles Darwin. A lot of people don't realize he was an ordained minister.
Yeah.
But
So he went up to get a
He didn't
gulp
believe
of
what-
air.
he didn't believe what he
well,
was.
there was another Charles before him that he idolized, that he just thought was neater than the bee's knees, and I can't remember that Charles's name. So when Charles Darwin got on the boat that went to the Galapagos Islands, he had just finished seminary. He had a copy of the Bible and a copy of this other Charles's book, and then he wrote his theory of evolution based on the 17 varieties of finches that he's seen. But I mean, they were still all the same kind. They were a bird.
Exactly. Right.
But you know,
It's macroevolution, not micro, or
Micro, not
microevolution.
macro.
Yeah, not macro. All right.
but you know, the benefit for those that push the evolution theory is if there isn't a creator, there is no accountability.
That's exactly right.
And that's what they're
That's
after.
exactly
the
right.
lack of
That means
accountability.
Yeah.
that means what's right and what's wrong is just a matter of opinion.
Yeah. Exactly.
When
That's right.
we removed the good Lord from the
That's
schools
right.
and otherwise.
Oh yeah, that's when it started going downhill.
That's exactly right. Now you can't tell Hitler what he did was wrong because in his eyes it could be right.
Well,
If there's no God, then who's to say?
They're removing that in several countries in Europe.
Oh, they're trying to remove it out of our schools.
You know, it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's some fish car stuff over here. There was a several year period, actually from 1881 through 1947, that they used specially designed train cars to haul fish. And people go, okay, well, why were they hauling fish? You know, the U.S. Fish Commission was formed in 1871, and people are thinking, okay, you know, well, that was surely a group of forward-thinking individuals. Why would they do that? Well, you know, there's three reasons. One is to replenish the brood stock that Grandpa and all his friends had caught, got all the lunkers, and they go back and there's no more fish in the lake.
And there's nothing, right.
Number two was to introduce species where they weren't native. For example, brown trout were not native to North America at all. They came from Europe.
Right.
And then the third one that nobody likes to talk about is, as the settlers were moving west, the Native Americans were already here. Exactly. So how do you get the Native Americans corralled and surrendered without killing them all? Because that would have surely would have created an outcry. Well, you kill all the buffalo. You kill 30 million buffalo, you shoot them and leave them lay. Right. So now we have to, there's not any cattle or sheep or other livestock. The wild game is very limited. Yeah, you have to have a food source for the people migrating west. Exactly. So part of the agreement between U.S. Fish Commission and the railroads was in exchange for a brother-in-law deal on cost per mile of pulling the cars, they would stock all of the ponds and streams along the tracks for free, so that people ultimately would have something to eat on their westward journey. Something.
So there's a bear up there. Is there a Bigfoot anywhere?
Nope. Could be. They just haven't found one to stuff.
Yeah, that's you know,
that's
it's
really
amazing
cool.
what goes on behind the scenes and making the little deals and this and that, and you don't know, you know.
Those who forget the past are bound to repeat it.
Yeah, exactly right, because you don't know. Well, nice talking to you. You also.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks for all the info. You're most welcome.
Did you see the sculpin?
The what?
The other variety of fish that can survive in the low oxygen.
Oh, okay. This is the other one.
Well, these are what are they called? They're called striped shiners. There's two sculpin down in there.
Shiners for bait.
Oh, look at him.
Oh, he's cool. Wow, he blends so good in there.
Yeah, he does.
You wouldn't even know. I didn't even notice him there.
Can you see?
And what is that?
That is a banded sculpin.
Now, can you don't find these in like the 11 point or anything, do you?
Well, in the Mammoth Spring, that's one of the only two
Other
fish
ones
that can survive.
Okay, you weren't talking about these then.
No.
You were talking about that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a
We haven't been to Springs yet.
That's a funny looking critter.
And that averages 9 million gallons an hour. And when my wife and I were at the visitor center last Sunday, they've got a flow meter, and right now it's a little over 14 million gallons an hour because of the rain.
Now, is that the biggest spring in Arkansas?
It's one of the largest springs in the world.
It said the
the
ninth largest in the world.
It's certainly the biggest in Arkansas.
I think it's one out there.
Too cool. Yeah, we're camping right now at Greer Crossing right there.
Oh, okay.
Bridge,
Well,
yeah.
we're just down the street, down the road from here in an RV. So that's our compensation place to park an RV with water, sewer, and electricity.
Well, there you go.
It's fair trade for me.
Right, exactly. Okay. Well, nice talking to you.
Likewise, thank you.
Thank you.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends. It's being more than friends. Yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah.
He's right.
So hold me tight through the night.
I don't know how close they let you get to them. They're probably tacky.
I don't know. They're pretty used to people, probably. See if you can go down there and get a close-up picture.
I just feel so